Hi, and welcome to the MySgProp podcast, your weekly dose of smart property investing insights, straight from Singapore to the region. I'm CS, and joining me today, as always, is the ever-curious Rainey.
Hey everyone, and a very good morning or afternoon, depending on when you're tuning in. CS, it's November 17th, 2025, and we're back with our weekly market update. Given how fast things move in real estate, this date-sensitive update is crucial, right?
Absolutely, Rainey, especially today, as we dive into what we call our Market Pulse segment. We're looking at some significant market trends, statistics, research, and studies that have been making waves. It's been quite an eventful week, actually, with some surprising figures coming out.
Oh, I'm already intrigued. Lay it on me, CS. What's the hot news of the week that got you raising an eyebrow?
Well, let's kick things off with a big one, the Plum Newton site. It garnered a whopping 8 bids, with the winning bid coming in at an eye-watering $1.820 per square foot per plot ratio. Now, Rainey, what do you think that signifies?
Wow, $1.820 PSF PPR. That sounds incredibly high. I mean, 8 bids already tells you there's strong interest, but that winning price, is that like a record or something? It just screams confidence, doesn't it?
You're not wrong to think that way, Rainey. It is, in fact, the second highest government land sale, or GLS, bid for a residential-only site. So yes, it absolutely points to a robust appetite from developers and, by extension, a certain level of optimism for the future of the private residential market. Despite all the whispers and concerns we hear, when the rubber meets the road, developers are still willing to pay a premium for prime sites.
Okay, second highest ever for a residential-only site. That's a big statement. So the developers are still hungry, clearly. But then, shifting gears a bit, I also saw something about HDB resale volumes. And this one sounded a bit less optimistic.
Indeed. That brings us to our second hot news item. October HDB resale volume fell by 38%. Now, that's quite a significant dip, placing it at the lowest level since 2020.
38%? That's almost a 40% drop. Let me stop you there, CS. Is this, a cause for concern? Because 2020 was, well, a very different time, wasn't it? What's driving such a sharp decline?
It is a substantial drop, Rainey, and it's certainly caught the attention of many analysts. While it might seem alarming at first glance, we have to consider a few factors. Firstly, the property cooling measures implemented recently might be taking a greater effect on the HDB resale market. Secondly, there's often a seasonal fluctuation, but this 38% drop is beyond typical. It could also be a reflection of buyers exercising more caution, perhaps waiting for clarity on interest rates or a potential easing of prices. We also saw a surge in HDB transaction volumes post-pandemic, so this could also be a recalibration, in a way. It's certainly a statistic to keep a close eye on to see if it's a temporary blip or the start of a new trend.
A recalibration, that's a good way to put it. So, not necessarily a crash, but definitely a market taking a breather. Okay, interesting. What else has been buzzing in the market? Any other big-ticket items being moved?
Yes, there is. Perennial has put the former MediaCorp site on sale for a cool $350 million. This is another one that caught my eye because of its history and potential.
The old MediaCorp site? Wow, that's a landmark. $350 million? That's a huge amount of money. Who would even be looking at something like that? And what kind of development do you envision for such a significant plot of land?
Well, for a site of that magnitude and history, you're looking at major players, likely consortiums or very large developers, both local and international. It's a prime piece of real estate, and for $350 million, it's not just about the land, but the potential for a transformative, mixed-use development. Given its location, you can expect something that would contribute significantly to the urban landscape, perhaps incorporating residential, commercial, and even green spaces. It's an opportunity for a developer to make a real statement.
Absolutely. It's not every day a site with that kind of heritage comes onto the market. Okay, so we've had some big headlines this week, from high bids for residential land to a dip in HDB resale and a massive site for sale. Now, for those who are actively looking, what are some of the new launch promotions that caught your attention, CS?
All right, let's pivot to some exciting new launch promotions that our listeners might be interested in. First up, we have Terra Hill. They're offering an $80,000 discount, which is quite substantial. And for those looking in the West, it's a freehold property with a 3-bedroom unit now starting from only $2.4 million.
$80,000 off? That's a serious discount, CS. And freehold in the West for $2.4 million for a 3-bedder? That sounds like a pretty attractive proposition. Freehold is always a big draw for many, isn't it? It's like owning a piece of legacy.
Exactly, Rainey. Freehold is highly valued for its long-term appeal and inheritable nature. And with an $80,000 discount, it definitely enhances the value proposition for buyers in that segment.
Good to know. What's next on the new launch radar?
Next, we're looking at the Sin, located right at the city fringe. Units here are going from only $2.212 per square foot. Specifically, a 2-bedroom unit starts from $1.49 million, 3 bedrooms from $1.93 million, and if you need more space, 4 bedrooms from $3.34 million.
City fringe at that price point, CS, sounds pretty competitive. I mean, proximity to the city center without the premium of being cities, the city center. And the breakdown of prices for different unit types is helpful. A 2-bedder under $1.5 million at the city fringe definitely catches the eye.
It certainly does. The city fringe offers that sweet spot of accessibility, and often, a slightly more palatable price point compared to Prime District 9, 10, or 11. It's a very popular choice for young professionals and families alike.
Agreed. Any other new launches that we should be looking at this week?
Yes, one more that's worth highlighting is Canberra Crescent Residences. This new private condo is priced from only $1,882 per square foot. And for those who are still on the fence, there are only the final 8 units of 3-bedroom apartments left, starting from only $1.56 million.
Oh, final 8 units and from $1,882 PSF? That means if you're keen, you probably need to act fast, right? That price point for a new private condo, especially a 3-bedder under $1.6 million, in today's market, sounds like a very good deal.
Absolutely, Rainey. Final units usually signals an imminent sellout, and that price per square foot for a new private condo is indeed attractive, especially for a 3-bedroom unit. It presents a strong opportunity for those looking to get into the private market at a more accessible entry point.
So many options. Okay, now that we've covered the new launches, what about the resale market? Any interesting finds there for our listeners?
Yes, in our resale property showcase this week, we have a very appealing freehold unit at the Riverine by the Park. It's right next to the Kolang River, a 3-bedroom, 3-bath unit spanning 302 square feet, priced at $2.98 million. What makes this particularly special is that it comes with a private lift and offers panoramic views.
Ooh, private lift and panoramic views next to Kalang River? That sounds incredibly luxurious, CS. And freehold too, for a 3-bedroom at 300 plus square feet, $2.98 million. That's for someone who appreciates the finer things, I suppose. The views alone must be breathtaking.
Indeed. It caters to a segment of buyers who value privacy, space, and a premium lifestyle with scenic views. The private lift is a significant convenience and luxury feature, definitely adding to its appeal. For those interested in buying, selling, or renting resale property, they can contact us for more information on units like this one.
That's a fantastic option for someone looking for a high-end, ready-to-move-in home. Now, before we wrap up, I know many of our listeners are also exploring opportunities beyond Singapore. Do you have anything for our overseas investment property showcase this week?
Yes, we do. For our listeners keen on overseas investments, we've got a new Bangkok condo that's definitely worth looking at. It's conveniently located directly opposite the convention center and several offices. The best part? It's just a 5-minute walk to Queen Sirikit Center MRT station, which is only 1 stop away from the Asoke BTS interchange station. And the price? From a very attractive SGD $19 XK.
Bangkok, and from SGD $190 something thousand? That's incredibly competitive, CS. A 5-minute walk to the MRT and 1 stop to a major interchange like Asoke? That's like prime connectivity, right? For investors, proximity to a convention center and offices must be a huge plus.
Absolutely, Rainey. For overseas property, location and connectivity are paramount. Being opposite a convention center and offices implies strong rental demand from business travelers and expatriates. And the easy access to public transport, especially with a direct link to a major interchange like Asoke, makes it highly desirable for both tenants and potential buyers. It's an excellent opportunity for anyone looking to diversify their portfolio with a high-potential asset in a vibrant city like Bangkok.
That's quite a compelling package, especially at that price point. It really shows there are still great value buys out there, both locally and regionally, if you know where to look.
That's exactly it, Rainey. Knowing the market trends and identifying these opportunities is key.
Well, that's all for today's podcast from MySgProp CS. As always, thank you for breaking down the weekly market pulse for us. I feel so much more informed.
My pleasure, Rainey. Always great chatting with you about the market.
And to all our listeners, I hope you picked up something useful for your next property move, whether it's local or even overseas. Don't forget to follow or share this episode with someone who's into real estate too. More insights and new launch updates await you at MySgProp.com. Catch you next time.